asleep. She smells like the rain. She smells like the tree. Sister, won't you call my name? Ah, sister, won't you call my name? Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, and signifying nothing. And these were the Compsons, Quentin the Third, who loved not his sister's body, but some concept of Compson honor, precariously supported by the minute fragile membrane of her maidenhead, as a miniature replica of all the whole vast globular may be poised on the nose of a trained seal, who loved not the idea of incest which he would not commit, but some concept of its eternal punishment. He, not God, could by that means cast himself and his sister both into hell, where he could guard her forever, keep her forevermore intact amid the eternal flames, but who loved death above all, who only loved death. Candace, doomed and knew it, accepted the doom without either seeking or fleeing it, loved her brother despite him, loved not only him, but loved in him that bitter prophet, an inflexible, corruptless judge of what he considered the family's honor and its doom, as he thought he loved, but really hated in her what he considered the frail, doomed vessel of its pride and the foul instrument of its disgrace. He himself was incapable of love, accepting the fact that he must value above all, not her, but the virginity of which she was custodian, and on which she placed no value whatsoever. The frail physical stricture which to her was no more than a hangnail would be. knew the brother loved death best of all, and was not jealous. Would, and perhaps in the calculation and deliberation of her marriage did, have handed him the hypothetical hemlock. Was 2 months pregnant with another man's child, which regardless of what its sex would be, she had already named Quentin, after the brother whom they both, she and brother, knew was already the same as dead, when she married in 1910. An extremely eligible young Indianian she and her mother had met, vacationing the summer before. Divorced him by 1911, married 1920 to a minor moving picture magnate, Hollywood, California. Divorced by mutual agreement, Mexico, 1925. Vanished in Paris with the German occupation, 1940. Still beautiful, and probably still wealthy too, since she did not look within the 15 years of her actual 48. And Benjamin, who was born Maury, but rechristened Benjamin once mother realized what he was. Who loved 3 things only: the pasture, which was sold to pay for Candace's wedding, his sister Candace, and firelight. Who lost none of them because he could not remember his sister, but only the loss of her, and firelight was the same bright shape as fallen asleep. And the pasture was even better sold than before, because now he and TP could follow timeless along the fence, watching the motions which it did not even matter to him were human beings swinging golf sticks. Who could not speak. It was unclear what he could understand or hear. Castrated in 1913, committed to the state asylum, Jackson, 1933. Lost nothing then either, because as was with his sister, he remembered not the pasture, but only its loss, and firelight was still the same bright shape as sleep. And Mother Caroline, who said Benjamin was punishment enough, who said to father, let me have Jason, and you keep the others. They're not my flesh and blood like he is. Strangers, nothing of mine. I'm afraid of them. I can take Jason and go where we are not known. I'll go down on my knees and pray for the absolution of my sins, that he may escape this curse of a family. Try to forget that the others ever were, that Benjamin was punishment enough. Who said to father, you cannot hurt me any more than your children already have. June 2nd, 1910, Quentin's chapter. When the shadow appeared on the curtains, it was between 7 and 8 o'clock, and then I was in time again, here in the watch. When Father gave it to me, he said, "Quentin, I give you the mausoleum of all hope and desire. I give it to you, not that you may remember time, but that you might forget it now and then, and not spend all your time trying to conquer it. Because no battle is ever won," he said. "They are not even fought. The field only reveals to man his own folly and despair, and victory is an illusion of philosophers and fools. It's always the idle habits you acquire which you will regret," Father said. And that Christ was not crucified. He was worn away by my new clicking of little wheels that had no sister. And the good St. Francis that said, "Little sister death," that never had a sister. Like all the bells that ever rang, still ringing in the long dying light rays, and Jesus and St. Francis talking about a sister. Because if it were just to hell, if that were all of it, finished, if things just finished themselves, nobody else there but her and me, if we could just have done something so dreadful that they would have all fled hell except us. And Father said that's sad too, that no one can really do something that dreadful. We can't do anything very dreadful at all, because tomorrow we can't even remember what seemed dreadful today. It's not when you realize that nothing can help you, religion or pride, anything. It's when you realize that you don't need any help at all. Unless I do what I'm tempted to, then I wouldn't have, but why did she? The chimes began again as I walked upon the belly of my shadow, feeling Father behind me, in the rasping darkness of summer and August, and the chimes began again, the half hour. I stood in the belly of my shadow and listened to the strokes, spaced, tranquil, serene, along the sunlight, among the thin, still little leaves, spaced, peaceful, serene, with that quality of autumn, always in the bells, even in the month of brides. "Caddy, you can't do it if you're sick. I've got to marry somebody. I've got to marry somebody. Have there been very many, Caddy? I don't know too many. You don't know whose it is then? Does he know? Don't touch me. Will you look after Benny and Father? Caddy, that I've got to marry somebody, Quentin." Father told me, "It's because you're a virgin, don't you see? That purity is a negative state and therefore contrary to nature. It's nature is hurting you, Quentin. It's not Caddy." And I said, "That's just words." So is virginity. On the instant we come to realize that tragedy is secondhand. But if it could just be a hell, beyond that, the clean flame, the two of us more than dead, Then you will have only me, then only me, then the two of us, amid the pointing and the horror beyond the clean flame. Only you and me then walled by the clean flame. And we can go away, you and Benny and me, where nobody knows us. On what? Your school money? The money they sold the pasture for so you could go to Harvard? You've got to finish now. Otherwise we'll have sold the pasture for nothing, Benji's pasture. And Benji was pulling out a dress and bellowing his voice hammered back and forth between the walls and waves, and she shrinking against the wall, getting smaller and smaller with a white face, with eyes like thumbs dug into it, till he pushed her out of the room, and his voice hammering back and forth, as though his own momentum sound would not let it stop, as though there was no place for it. In the silence, bellowing. It was a crime. We did a terrible crime. It cannot be hid. You think it can, but wait. I fooled you all the time, it was me. You thought I was in the house, but that damn honeysuckle tried not to think of the swing, and the cedars, and the secret surges, the breathing, Lord, drinking the wild breath. Yes, yes, yes. Poor Quentin. You've never done that, have you? What did you let him for? Why did you let him kiss you, Caddy? I didn't let him. I made him. What do you think of that? It was raining. We could hear it on the roof. Sighed through the high, sweet emptiness of the barn. There? Was it there? Touching her? Not there. Was it there? Not raining hard, but we couldn't hear anything but the roof, as if it was my blood or her blood. There? Not there, Quentin. I bet I can lift you up. You can't, Quentin, I'm too heavy. Well, what's it like then? It's like dancing, sitting down. Did you ever dance sitting down, Quentin? The rain, a rat in the crib, empty barn, vacant with horses. Did he hold you like this, Caddy? We were dancing, sitting down. Does Caddy dance, sitting down? Stop that, Quentin. Stop that. I don't give a damn what you were doing. Well, I'll make you give a damn. She hid my hand away, lay in the wet grass, panting the rain. Do you care now? Do you? And the water building, the soured mud, stinking surface wood, parking the pattering surface, like grease on a hot stove. I'll make you, Caddy. I told you I'd make you. I don't give a goddamn what you do. She looked at me, then everything emptied out of her eyes. They looked like statues. You know statues? Blank and unseen and serene. Put your hand to my throat. She took my hand and held it against her throat. Say his name. What's his name? Dalton Ames. I felt the surge of blood. It surged in strong, accelerating beats. Say it again. Her face looked off into the trees where the sun slanted and where the birds. Say it again. Dalton Ames. Her blood surged steadily, beating against my hand. I ran down the hill in a vacuum of crickets like a breath, traveling across a mirror. She was lying in the water, head on the sand, spit, the water flowing about her hips. There was a little more light in the water, her skirt half saturated, flopped along her flanks to the water's motion, and heavy ripples going nowhere renewed themselves of their own movement. And I stood on the bank. I could smell the honeysuckle on the water. The air seemed to drizzle with a honeysuckle, with the rasping of crickets, a substance you could feel on the flesh, a substance you could feel on the flesh. Is Benji crying? Yes, I don't know. I think so. Yes. Poor Benji. Poor Benji. I sat down on the bank. Caddy was in the water. Get out, Caddy. What are you doing? You're gonna catch cold. Do you want to catch cold? Yes. Yes. She talked, clasping her wet knees. She told me about Dalton Ames. Said he crossed all the oceans all around the world. Her face was tilting in the grey light. There was a room with light where Benji was sleeping. But do you love him, Caddy? No. No. Did he make you then? He made you do it. He was stronger than you and he made you do it. I'll kill him, I swear. Father doesn't need to know. You and I, no. They don't need to know. We can take my school money. Caddy, you hate him, right? Poor Quentin. The honeysuckle was in my breathing. I began to jerk and jump. I had to pant to get any air at all out of that thick grey honeysuckle. Yes, I hate him. I would die for him. I've died over and over for him every time this comes and goes. Poor Quentin. You've never done that, have you? Done what? That, what I have, what I did. Yeah, yes, lots of times, lots of girls. But then I was crying. Her hand touched me again. And I was crying against her damp blouse. She was lying on her back, looking past my head into the sky. I opened my knife. Do you remember the day Dam Ali died and you sat down in the water in your drawers? Yes. I held the point of the knife at her throat. It won't take but a second, and then I can do mine. I can do mine. Then we could be together, always. All right. Do mine, but can you do yours by yourself? Yes, the blade's long enough. Benji's in bed. Yes. It won't take but a second. I'll try not to hurt you, Caddy. All right. Will you close your eyes? Quentin, like this. You have to push it harder, Quentin. Touch your hand to it, Caddy. But she didn't move. Her eyes were wide open, looking past my head at the sky. Caddy, do you remember how Dilsey fussed at you because your drawers were muddy? Don't cry, Quentin. I'm not crying, Caddy. Push it, Quentin. Are you going to? Do you want me to, Caddy? Yes, yes, push it. Do something, Quentin. Just do something. Don't cry, poor Quentin. It's okay. But I couldn't stop. And she held my hand, and she held my head against her damp breast. I could hear her heart going firm and slow, not hammering, and the water was gurgling among the willows in the dark, and the waves of honeysuckle coming up the air, my arm, and my shoulders were twisted under me. What are you doing? It's her muscles gathered, and I sat up and... What is it, Quentin? My knife. I lost my knife. I can't see it. Where? I can't find it anywhere. Come on, Quentin. It's over. Come on. Let's go home. We've got to go home now, Quentin. Good night, Quentin. The Marriage of Candace, 1910. I am, I was not, I will be dead in. We sold Benji's pasture, and I can be dead in Harvard. A fine dead sound. We'll swap Benji's pasture for a fine dead sound. Then the watch, telling its furious lie on the dark table. A quarter hour yet, and then I'll not be. Peacefulest words, the peacefulest words. If people could only change one another forever, and that way merge like a flame. Instead of lying here, trying not to think of the swing and the cedars, till everything comes to have that dead, vivid smell of perfume. That smell that Benji hated so on the day of Candace's wedding.